Sex and the Solo Girl is going live, everyone. Today I'm dropping my first live interview recorded in front of a live audience, and it is a chat with Japanese adult video idol and complete sweetheart June Lovejoy. Please go and look her up while you are listening because you will love her. I did the live interview by invitation from the first ever Alt Life Expo taking place in Denver in January. Alt Life Expo sponsored a room at Ecchi Expo Denver 2025, and it was so cool to be a part of it. For those who don't know, Ecchi is a subgenre of anime, and it is characterized by light, playful, and suggestive sexual themes and imagery. And yes, I got that definition online just now. And for those who are curious about the upcoming Alt Life Expo, please head to the show notes for a very special Sex and the Solo Girl discount code. I would love to play with you there. I hope you will enjoy my chat with June Lovejoy.
Am I on? Yeah? Okay. And this is important because, yes, I'm going to be dropping this on Sex and the Solo Girl. That is my podcast, which is about doing things differently with yourself and others. I talk a lot about sex positivity. My last two episodes were titled Stripping and Cock Worship. And I also do a lot of talking about healthy communication, dating, secure attachment, being happy, being single, being happy with others. And so I'm really excited to talk to to June today. I am nervous. Oh my God, this never happens to me. I'm also a lifelong performer, and here we are. Welcome to Sex and the Solo Girl, June Lovejoy.
Thank you so much for having me.
I love the support that I'm getting with this being a very big milestone for Sex and the Solo Girl, and you being so supportive of it.
It's an honor. Yes. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. It's an honor for me as well. Guess what, everyone? This is my first anime expo. And I am sure enjoying it so far. So, we're not here to talk about me, however. We are here to talk about this lovely lady right here. Thank you for being here. Again, before we get started, what would you say in just a couple words is your job title, June?
Oh, that's so hard. Ask me an easier question. When I'm at a bar and I don't want to get any weird looks, I would just say producer or content creator. But I work as a tour guide in the adult industry.
Ooh, baby. Okay.
I sing. I do pretty much anything. So it's boring, but just content creator is easier. I make things for a living.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you do. Okay. And the first real question that I wanted to ask you is, what do you think of Denver so far?
I got elevation sickness, despite the warnings. I like it, but I haven't gotten to see it. I just came here for work. We flew in. The airport was beautiful, but despite every single person saying, hydrate, 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 we kept drinking, and then we still felt terrible. So
drinking water or drinking?
No, drinking water.
I was like, that's not what we told you to do.
I had vodka cranberries last night, and they did hit different. So I do like that about Denver.
Okay, yes. Awesome. And you got here yesterday?
I got here on Thursday night.
Oh, okay, great. And what has been your what do you like most about meeting fans in general?
Meeting fans, I like being able to, there's so much that I like, to be quite honest. Like, being completely honest, I interact a lot with my fans online, especially through Discord. Mm-hmm. And I really like responding to comments, but being able to see someone in person, whether they're a fan or not, it's just, you add the layer of humanity, and I really think that's important, because especially with sex work, they kind of, like politicians or even fans, they like to strip your humanity out of it. But if I get to meet them, I think, okay, they like my sexy content, but now they get to meet me as a person as well. And I think that's so important to solidify another layer of, again, humanity that is necessary to exist in the world and also in this industry.
Does that motivate you to continue on with your content in a different way?
Yes.
That people see you as a person? Question. Imagine that.
That's a really hard ask to do, right? For people to see you as a person, they will try to deny you no matter what work you do. Even service workers, if you're like a barista or whatever, if a lady's having a bad day, she will make sure that you don't feel like a person. But meeting people like I live in Japan, and traveling here is very difficult. It's very tiresome. I don't get paid for that time on the flight, and I don't get paid for that recuperation as well. It takes so much, but it's so important to me for me to meet people, and especially for me, I debuted during the pandemic, and I couldn't meet fans face to face. I debuted right when it started. Even fans in Japan, I wasn't allowed to go outside, and so now that the pandemic is over, I can actually meet people, talk to you. This is very special for me and important.
Well, I'm so glad, and I'm so glad that you're here. This is a great segue into something else I wanted to ask you. You've mentioned, being in Japan, traveling over here, and I happen to know that you talk a lot online about the differences between American and Japanese culture, both corporate, because I know you came from a much different background before you got into this, and also just interfacing with your fans and community. So when it comes to meeting people face to face and coming to things like an anime expo, what is the biggest difference there?
Sorry, could I have the question one more time?
Whoa.
I'm so sorry.
What is the biggest difference between meeting fans in person between America and Japan?
Oh, that's a really good question. Sorry. In Japan, I'm not sliding at anyone. There is, one person did it. However, in the audience, in Japan, it is very, very important to bring gifts. And it's not mandatory for American fans. However, flowers, cookies, even something small, like a keychain. I like Pokemon, so like Pokemon cards. Something super small, it could be $3, but that gift-giving aspect of Japanese culture is really important, even as a fan to whoever you're a fan of. And in America, we were making jokes, but I was like, my suitcase won't get that heavy because no one's bringing me anything.
Oh, that makes me want to cry.
No.
Who is affected by hearing that right now?
No.
Me.
No. It's just a fun
Also,
thing of the
take
culture.
note. Who's going to be here tomorrow? You heard her. I'm laughing especially because I'm really into the love languages, and I'm one of the people whose love language is gifts, who's actually willing to admit that is my love language. And yes, I'm all about the presents, and that is fascinating.
I'm acts of service, by the way.
Okay, all right. So maybe your gifts could be an act of service for this lovely lady tomorrow.
So contacting Ecchi Expo and saying June was amazing, bring them out again, is better than any gift you could get me, except for the dildo that this guy gave me. So.
Okay, well, really quick, can we talk about the dildo?
Yes. So online they said, we had been talking about toys. Is it okay? Okay. Online, we had been talking about toys. Consent is king. We've been talking about toys, and I really like Bad Dragon, fantasy dildos. And I said, usually I give them as gifts for people who have dicks, penis havers. So I said, it's really good. I've given it to trans girls as well as a present. And I said, and I really want this one. And he said, I'm coming to the Denver event. Pick one out. And I was like, I kind of want you to surprise me, but if I had to pick, I'd pick this one. So it was very exciting because I knew I was going to get one, but I didn't know what. And then in the hotel room last night, we were like, let's try and fit it in. Oh, who's going to put it in first?
Well, I am a content creator as well. And I have an Amazon wish list that I'm happy to send you. Oh, that's really cool. And if you don't mind me asking, and if you do, just say no. Do you give content creators gifts? Have you done this before? That's so cool. I love it. Oh, and it seemed like it meant a lot to you.
Yeah, because there's a personal gift. Sometimes I do get, not to sound ungrateful, but I will get gifts that I can't eat or I don't need. There's a fan in Japan that always brings food for my cats, and my cats can't eat it. They're allergic to it. But the gift giving, the aspect of him giving me something is more important than my cats actually eating it. So, gift giving is something I think we can, as Americans, we can really incorporate more into. So, when you're at the booth out there, if you think, my friend would like this, pick them up something and show them that you were thinking about them.
This is a content creator to support. Do you see how grateful she is? Oh my God. I'm really having a moment. Well, thank you for sharing that. Let's move on, though. I would love to sit and talk about gifts and shopping all day, but I really want to talk about something that you're known for, and that is your passion for industry standards and talking about that. We're seeing a lot of progress being made in this regard right now. People and performers who are wanting to talk about it, wanting to bring awareness to it, wanting to do more than just get your paycheck. So, first of all, how do you define industry standards? Because this is something that people throw around a lot and we don't necessarily even know what we're talking about.
So I'm a little spoiled because thankfully in the Japanese industry, we're regulated by the government. So our standards, it literally is the word industry standards. It's the paperwork that we have to do, the laws that we abide by, and the rules that we have to follow in order for us to sell our content legally.
Okay, so how does that differ from American industry standards?
I think with a lot of American companies that have reached out to me, all of their paperwork differentiates like based on the company, whereas in America we have one unified, or not America, sorry, in Japan it's a unified form that everyone has to fill out, and not the industry, sorry, the companies or whatever, the beings that govern us are all one unified group. So we just do whatever they say. I know it's like a very boring answer. It's very corporate in a sense, but they say you can't do this. They say you can't sell this, and we say okay. But in America, I feel like it's a bit more fluid, and maybe like Studio B does it one way, and then you go and film with Studio A, and you say, oh, Studio B doesn't do it like that. In Japan, they pretty much do it all the same, meaning that the STD test that you are required to get is the same one that every other person's supposed to get. The things that you cannot sell at Studio A, you can also not sell at Studio B, and yeah, it's just all, again, unified. It's very easy to understand. There's no, oh, why can't I do it here? We did it at the other one. Well, it's the government. It's their law.
Okay. What do you think would be the biggest potential or the biggest area that you'd like to see change in the American industry?
For me, STD testing, no one is unclean, no one's dirty, but I think out of all the American performers that I have the pleasure of meeting and becoming friends with and getting to know, the laxness, if that's a word, like the just uncare, or sorry, I'm not using the right word maybe. I'm trying to be very gentle with how I say this, but for example, when a company in America said, we'd like to film with you, I said, great, what STD test do I need? And they said, oh yeah, just any's fine. And I said, okay, great, I need you to test for these 9 specific STIs or STDs. And they said, okay, why is herpes on there? We don't test for herpes.
This is true, and I've done content around the herpes mystique.
Okay.
Which may be a topic for another episode.
I would love to listen to it, yeah. I'll keep it short, but the fact that they refused to test for it, and I said, why? And they said, well, because most of us have it. Why would we test for something we already know we have? And it's not bad to have herpes, but I would like to be able to know if my performer is active or has it or is shedding or whatever. And my friends say, oh, even if the guy's shedding, like they just make you film anyways. Or if that's the proper term, I don't know, but having an outbreak. And I think that's really unfair. And that just, whatever society or politicians like to say about our industry, it doesn't help that that's how we're doing it on the inside, and it doesn't make us look any better, and we're not protecting ourselves. And no one on the outside is protecting us anyways, so it's up to us to be like, no, you have to test for it, you have to tell me if you have it. It's the same with, what is the one, it's Rinryo. It's not gonorrhea. There's another one. It was, oh fuck, I'm so sorry. In Japanese, I know it, but we had an outbreak in Japan recently, and even if you've had it and you no longer have it, it still shows up as, performer A has had this in the past, and I can make the conscious decision if I want to.
The informed consent around moving forward. Yeah, just like when you have herpes and you communicate that to your partners, I am having an outbreak, just so you know, I've had this in the past, I'm going to do these precautions. Do you still consent to engaging with me in this way? Yes.
It's so important. And it's an easy thing to do, but they don't want to do it because it's an inconvenience.
You've had a lot of boundaries around doing American content.
Yeah, to an annoying degree, I think. I think a lot of even at this event, I think a lot of people in higher spaces might find me annoying, but I just like things by the book. And as long as I understand and the other party understands, then I'm so happy to play and so happy to engage. But if I don't know what's going on, I'm not going to participate.
Thank you. And speaking about playing and engaging, let's ask a couple sexy questions. First of all, after viewing some of your content, I wanted to just ask something I ask a lot of my guests on Sex and the Solo Girl is what is your favorite thing to wear?
Like sexy time?
What makes you feel the sexiest or the most confident?
My private life is very different, so I have to be careful. Like a collar, like a dog collar.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Rather than sexy, it just makes me feel like very turned on.
Okay. I'll take it.
Okay, take it.
And then generally, what makes you feel the sexiest or most confident?
When whoever I'm playing with really sees me and not a character, not like June Lovejoy, that's me, sure, that's who I'm presenting to be, but if someone really takes the time to get to know me, and for example, oh, you did an anal film, so you must like anal. No, I did an anal film, I performed in one. Like, that's not the end all be all, but when you're...
Put that fist away,
yeah,
right? Okay.
Just a lot of assumptions are made, especially like when you're in the adult industry. And so if I get when I have the pleasure of interacting with someone in a private setting, if they kind of separate whatever assumptions they've made and just really indulge with me in that moment of us together and just kind of, what are you into? What would you like to do? Where would you like to be touched? I find that intimacy really nice, and I get to be a little bit more vulnerable, because what I like in private isn't necessarily what sells. So
I can imagine that can be challenging to navigate someone who might know you publicly, and then trying to like work backwards almost.
Yes, I have had sex with fans, so it was a hurdle. Yeah.
All right, let's take an audience question.
My question is this. How do you feel about people mostly thinking that sex is a taboo topic? Or, I guess the best way to say this, a lot of people think sex is like a gun.
It's like a what?
A gun.
A gun. Really good question. I grew up in a super religious family, Southern Baptist, and I went to conversion therapy too. All of that, it was put through the ringer for it. And I just think, as adults, we have one time to enjoy this. As kids, we were not allowed to enjoy it. It's not for us. But this kinky con is something that you and I can only enjoy until our bits stop working. And maybe, sure, we can still come in here and enjoy the aesthetic of it. But right now is the one time we can enjoy it. And I'm not going to let anyone fucking tell me that I can't get off.
Yeah.
It's not a good answer,
Same
but it's an
with
honest
me.
answer. Limited time to enjoy this.
And I'm looking forward to getting to know you more. I'm actually an ex-Mormon. I don't know. Yes,
I did see that when I tried to research you, and you said, "Oh, my guest is also ex-Mormon."
Yes, my stripper friend who I interviewed last week, we met through a shameless sexuality conference.
Wow.
And she was raised Mormon, and now she's a stripper.
Oh my gosh,
And
my
we're
mom
like,
lives in Salt Lake City, so I meet the
Ooh,
Mormons quite
okay.
often.
We will talk.
I would
some
love
more.
to talk.
Do we have any other questions before I kind of ask my final question, which is going to be about what you might suggest for people who are venturing into this, which is a lot of what the Alt Life Expo is about. That's why we have our necklaces up here, to give people the chance to kind of think about these different parts of themselves and how they identify, though I like to use that term loosely. Yes. Do you mind?
So everyone likes hearing the horror stories, but I want to know, what was your best ever day on set? I mean, from like the time the alarm goes off to, of course, talk about all the sexy bits, but what was your best ever day shooting a scene or a film, and why?
Oh my, yes, thank you, June.
I'd like to thank you so much, Orlando. This is someone I've known for half a decade. I'm sorry sorry, I said your name too. Sorry, I just wanted to say
I'll bleep
there, but
it.
then also the consent was. I'm so sorry. But I want to take this as an opportunity to kind of step away from industry stuff. So in Japan, right now, our industry is dying. The official Japanese, the fancy one, the one where studio film porn, piracy is kind of taking a toll on the industry. It's no longer really profitable for them to do it, and so a lot of content creators or porn stars are moving towards OnlyFans or Fantia. That's what we have in Japan, or whatever fan clubs, right? And myself included, I've been doing that, and of course, I've had good days on with Japanese studios, but the freedom in which I have with my team recording stuff for my fan sites means so much to me. Like, I can giggle, I can take a break when I want to. Yes, no one's ever forced me to do anything on set that I didn't want to do. That's true. But just all the jokes and laughter and just like camaraderie that I get to experience when I'm filming my personal content, it means the world to me. And I can't even cite one day on set. It's just the giggling, the jumping around, the putting together outfits together. Oh, do you think they'll like this? I really love those memories, and I was kind of forced to do the fan clubs because my industry was dying, but I don't regret it, and I'm really grateful for the team that I have.
Great. I was hoping there was going to be an orgasm count somewhere in there, but that's great. Having ownership over.
Yeah, great. Friendship and all, whatever. How many times you come?
No, I love that. And also, what I'm hearing is also just like the sense of relief, having ownership over your own experience, which probably also does make for orgasm counts as well. But, okay, we'll take one more question. Yes? Do you mind?
How does sex intermingle with your personal life, or
I hope it does.
changing?
It's a really good question.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So
Thank you.
that is
Thank
a
you
question
so much.
I really like being asked, and I don't think I've ever been asked it, but
Oh, okay.
I really, thank you. So again, I have sex on camera for a living, and the sex that I show to everyone in the world for them to enjoy is not my personal sex. I don't necessarily want to do those things or say the things that I'm saying. So the sex that I have in private is something that I always joke, but it would never sell. Think about the most intimate sex you've ever had, where if you like to be on the receiving end, you're underneath it, someone's on top of you just holding you tight, and you are balls deep or got whatever toy deep inside of you. There is no angle that you could film where that looks good, but you feel so incredible, and the orgasm that you get is going to be mind-blowing, and that intimacy is not something that you can capture on camera. So even me as a porn star, the sex that I have in private is not sellable, but it feels so fucking good.
Oh, thank you so much. And you actually got goosebumps as you were
No. I was thinking about it. I was like, I'm going to get it on Monday. That's actually hickeys.
Oh my
Hickeys.
God, I have some too.
Yeah, well, let's compare.
Yes, I don't know if anyone can see, but yes, no shame in my game. Oh my God, what a fun conversation. And thank you for the questions. Thank you for your gifts. Thank you to Alt Life for sponsoring this room. And then, yes, like I said, Alt Life is largely about helping people to experience and explore and discover these sides of themselves. And one question that I get a lot as a sex podcaster is, what if I'm new to this? What if I don't know where to start? What if I'm curious? Like, where do I begin? And I always like to give as practical advice as possible on Sex and the Solo Girl. And so if someone is getting turned on, curious about some of these things, but just doesn't know, quote unquote, where to start, what is maybe like a practical tip that you would give?
And again, I love how you're like, it's got to be practical, and let's narrow it down, because there's so many things you could say, right? But I guess if I had someone in front of me that's like, I'm interested, what should I do? I think, especially with COVID opening up, getting involved in person might be your best bet. And there might be local dungeons or local kink communities, because even if you go and you don't vibe with those people, you still tested the waters in person, and sex is a very tactile thing. And whether there's penetration or not, you're going to be touched, you're going to touch something, someone's going to touch you, most likely. So if you can, research in your local community what's going on. And if you don't like that, then stick to online communities. But I think starting with the most human way you can enjoy sex or sexual experiences, and that's with people. And even here at Ecchi Expo, this is a great step to get involved with it in a more human way, rather than being on the Ecchi Expo Discord. You know, Discord and reality are totally different things. So yeah, get out there and go enjoy something, whether it's Ecchi Expo or some other event, but there's something out there for you for sure.
Yes. And June is out there for you for sure.
Yes, I am.
Thank you so much. This means so much to me that you wanted to do this. It was a pleasure to meet you. A pleasure to meet all of you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. And thank you to Alt Life Expo.
Thank you, Alt Life.
Yes, everyone go to June Lovejoy's booth over there. You're having some a bit of naughty fun, right?
Yeah. Yes. And what would mean a lot to me is if you could come to my panel at 3 to 4 in the special events room. I'll be talking about the Japanese porn industry today, and tomorrow I'll talk about sexy tourism in Japan. So if you're visiting Japan and you want to know where to get your rocks off or where to see some really sexy ladies or boys, come on down. Both of them special events, 3 to 4 today and tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. All right. I'll see you there. See you all there. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Sex and the Solo Girl with Janice Formicella, the podcast for those who want to add more flavor to their relationships with themselves and others. If you liked today's episode, make sure to head over to Instagram and let her know. See you next week.